Okay, all right. Shalom, Akim. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Okay. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you brothers out there doing the work in true sincerity. All right. So I'm in a transit video. I'm gonna do a video, and pretty much, you gotta measure the time. You gotta measure the time according to the scriptures, according to the prophecies, and you have to know what time we are in. Okay. And it's plain to see that we're in a time of war. All right. You have all these different nations. They're putting all their money into their military power, like the Russians, like the Koreans, okay, the Chinese. All right, because the Most High, He has determined for this last war, which is the Third World War, the War of Armageddon, the war to end all wars. Okay, He has determined for this to be in this. He has determined for this this time period to be in a time of war. All right, we're not in a time of peace, in the time of love. All right, we're in a grave time, a time of a lot of destruction that's going to take place. And you're actually starting to see these military armies, right? They're testing nuclear missiles, they're testing all these different ICBMs, different nuclear different missile defense systems. Okay, so you got to know what time we're in, and we're definitely in a time of war. So I'm gonna just bring out a couple of scriptures. Okay, so this is Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season. All right, just like there's four so-called seasons. You got summer, spring, winter, and fall. And within those seasons, something different happens. Okay. All right, when the winter comes, the snow, the weather gets colder. Okay. The summer, the days get hotter. The spring, new trees and new life come. And fall, the life starts waning. It starts dropping down the old to prepare for the new. Okay, so the same thing in the world sense. In the beginning of the world, all right, we weren't in the time of World War III, but now we are. All right, because we're at the end of the world. We're at the end of we're at the end of our captivity, the end of Esau, the so-called white man's rulership. Okay, it says to everything there is a season, and to every time, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. All right, so the Most High, He has purpose for Babylon to be destroyed. So he's waking up all these different armies, all these different nations. Okay, so I'm gonna read verse 2, then I'm gonna jump down to the point. A time to be born and a time to die. All right, it's a time for a lot of people to die. And it's gonna be a mass death when them nuclear missiles are shot off. All right, from all these different countries. A time to plant and a time to pluck up, which is planted. Okay, when you're dealing with the harvest. Okay. And furthermore, the Most High, He's planting with that seed of His word. All right, and then when He comes back, when Yahushai comes back, He's going to pluck up. Okay. So I'm gonna go right to the point. Verse 8: a time to love. All right, we're in a time of love in the brotherhood. All right, and a time to hate. So all these wacky-tacky Christians and these people of the world, they say that, you can't hate. God is all love. Well, in the scriptures, it tells you that there's a time to love and there's a time to hate. All right, a time of war. All right, we're in that time of war, and a time of peace. We're not in the time of peace, man. We're actually in the time of war. We're in the time where the Most High has determined to destroy America. All right, and before that, you're going to have a lot of race riots. You're going to have a lot of food shortages. Okay, which is going to bring forth the famine. All right, you're going to have the famine of the word. Okay. All right, you're going to have a lot of pestilences in the form of diseases. All right, the plagues are going to hit this place. The plagues are going to hit the earth, man. This is a time where the Lord's going to judge the earth. All right. So let me read that again. Verse 8. A time to love. All right. We're in a time to love the Akim, man. And a time to hate, man. We're in a time of hating all evil. All right. The scriptures say, hate the evil and love the good. All right. You're supposed to hate evil, man. But in this world, evil is accepted and righteousness is hated, right? It's backwards. We're in a backward society. All right, this was the type of society that Esau has created. He likes the confusion. Thus the name of America is Babylon. All right, the daughter of Babylon. All right, which is a very fitting name for America. Okay, that's America. That's just the English name. All right, so to speak. But really, in the scriptures, it's code name the land of Edom. All right, more importantly, the land of Babylon, the land of confusion. All right, because this is a confused place. All right, so now we know that we're in a time of war, and you can just see. All right, you have North Korea testing off those nuclear, those ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. You have China, which is strengthening their economy, strengthening their army. Iran, within the last couple of months, there's been a lot of earthquakes in Iran. All right, you had the earthquake maybe a month ago on the Iraq-Iran border, right? And then like 2 days ago, you had another earthquake, and there's a lot of tremors over there. So if you're of any understanding, if you're privy to that, you will understand that they're testing those nuclear missiles, man. All right, because now these nations, what they do, they test their nuclear missiles underground. So they dig the hole and then they test a nuclear missile underground, and that creates tremors, that creates earthquakes. Okay, that's why you're having a lot of these earthquakes in diverse places. All right, here in America, you have a lot of earthquakes because Esau's digging into the ground, fracking they call it, right? Fracking for natural gases. And then that's messing up the tectonic plates. And then when you go over there in the Middle East, right, where there's not a lot of earthquakes, but now there's a lot of earthquakes because they're testing their nuclear arsenal underground, man. Okay? I mean, it's plain to see, man. If your eyes are open and you're watching, that's why the Lord said, I have set watchmen. Right? The watchmen watch everything, man. And those are the men of great millstones, starting with our apostles and elders, okay, on down. All right, watching for these prophecies, man. That's how we know the time and the season that we're in. Right? Let me bring out another scripture. Yep, this is it. This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Okay, so you're supposed to proclaim, which the word proclaim pretty much means to prophesy, to say before. Okay, prepare war. We're telling you nations. All right, the Spirit of the Lord, through His prophets, through His men that He has out there. They're telling these nations to prepare war, and that's why you're starting to see these nations prepare war. This is what actually the Most High has told them. Okay? In the Spirit, He has told these other nations, the Gentiles, prepare war. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Okay? These other nations, the Lord said, wake up. All right? He's giving you the finances. He's giving you the technology, all right, and the power to build up your military, all right? Because before that, Esau, he took over all the dark nations and he subdued them. All right, but now we're in the time where these other nations, they're rebuilding their armies and their military. You know, they're buying a lot of arms from Russia. These big superpowers. Right, Russia's funding a lot of these different nations. Okay, China's funding a lot of different nations. All right, and they're taking their money that they were put into these different avenues like infrastructure, agriculture, and they're placing it right into their military. And then furthermore, they don't have their military stretched out thin like America. They're not in these different countries setting up different proxy wars, right? Taking in different mineral resources. They're actually producing things and selling it to America like China. That's how China is becoming a big superpower. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Why is this? Because the Lord, he actually wants America to be destroyed. Okay? So he's telling all the mighty men of these different nations to wake up. Get out of that slumber-like state. All right? Get out of that slumber-like state to where Esau had total control over you. Okay? All the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. The Most High said, put all your money, put all your resource into military. Take it out of agriculture, okay? Take it out of infrastructure, okay? You use your surplus, okay, to put all your might into your military. Hire your engineers, hire your mathematicians, okay? Build up your missile defense system, all right? Build up your nuclear arsenal, okay? You put all your time and effort into your military, man, and that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing happen. The Most High told all these nations to put all your money into their nuclear arsenal, into their military might, into their navy, their air force, their standing army, right? That's the new profession amongst these different nations, and a lot of these different nations, okay, you gotta serve. You actually have to serve a couple of years in the military, man. All right, before you have to serve a couple of years in the military. That's part of being a citizen of that country. Even like North Korea, man. North Korea, the women got to serve in the military, man. All these other nations, Iran, China, you have to put in them hours, man. You got to put in them years. Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. All right, all you heathen nations. The Most High said, assemble yourselves and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. All right, these are the Lord's mighty ones. All right, these the armies of these other nations. Okay, also the nuclear missiles, which that's where their power is at. All right, because their power is not in guns. The power is not in ships. Okay, the power is not in a standing army, so to speak. Okay, their power is in the capability to shoot out missiles from one end of the earth to the other. That's where the power of these other nations are. So they have hired their engineers. They have hired these high-level nuclear engineers, man, and mathematicians. Okay, and have bought the uranium. Okay, and have put all their might and their power and their effort and their energy, okay, and their monies into building up that arsenal, man. So that's what you're seeing now. So the Most High, he said that, all right? It says, let the heathen be wakened, all right, because they've been rocked to sleep by Esau, because Esau put them in captivity, all right, and subdued them and put them under pretty much tribute, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which the valley of Jehoshaphat is in the Middle East, and that's where everything is getting hot at. All right, that's a hotbed. All right, it's not in America. All right, it's in the Middle East. That's where the war of Armageddon is going to take place of. And the Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment. All right, that's where the Lord is going to judge all the nations. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Right? So when that harvest, right, like we are going into in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, how the Most High, He has appointed a season. There's a season for there's a time for every season, right? There's a time to harvest, there's a time to pluck up that which you have planted, right? There's a time to plant, and there's a time to pluck up that which you have planted. So the time right now, it's pretty much the harvest is ripe, meaning it's the time of war. Where the war is ripe this time in point of time, 2017 going into 2018, is a ripe time of war, right? When you have a fruit that's ripe, right, it's just right. It's just right. You pick it right when it's ripe, right? They got tomatoes vine ripened, right? That's the perfect time, right? Okay. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fat overflows. For their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay? Alright, so it's plain to see, man, that we're actually in that time. I mean, it's clear as day. Alright, if you're looking at global news, if you're looking at what's happening in the world, okay, what's happening to the world's economy, all right, if you're watching for the prophecies, all right, and a big prophecy was for all these nations that were these small nations, okay, to become great military powers, okay? Iran, why do you think America just can't go into Iran? Why do you think America just can't go into North Korea? All right, furthermore, why do you think America can't go into Russia, China? All right, because the Most High has set up different guards unto these small nations, right? Like Iran is a guard unto Salakia. Russia is a guard to Iran, to Syria, okay? These different countries in the Middle East, okay? China is a guard also, okay, to them different Asian countries, more like North Korea, which is right at the border. So you have these different superpowers, mainly Russia and China, okay, who are guards unto these smaller nations that Esau, the so-called white man, all right, by the hands of the EU, by the hands of America, can't go up in there and set up puppet leaders, okay, and can't totally control them. So let me get one more scripture. I just want to, with the scripture that I quoted. I'm going to get that, and then, we can wrap it up. So, actually, give me a sec. Yeah, I actually already read that. In verse 10, I just want to go up to that again, actually. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong, right? Because normally you have the people will depend, the economy will depend and take care of the people, all right, by farming, by agriculture. But now how the spirit has it to where now they said, forget the people, man. We're going to put our money into the military. And now their people are suffering, all right, which we don't give a goddamn about them. But that's the Most High determined. He has determined for America to be destroyed. So he has told these different nations, all right, to put your money and your effort and your time into your military might. Okay. So, I'm not going to make it long. That was it pretty much. You know what? Let me bring out another scripture, actually. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. I'm gonna get the Apocrypha, and then I'm gonna pull it up. All right, so give me a second. Yeah, this is it right here. This is 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. You see that? You see that how you have to measure the time? The Most High said there's a time for every season. There's a season for every time. Meaning every from the beginning of the time to the middle of the time, I'm talking about the world since the beginning of the foundation. Even early even since the 1950s. 1960s there was a certain time that had to happen. There's a certain time that we had to go into slavery, right? We had to go into slavery. That was a certain time where the Most High, he took the name away from us. Okay? When we didn't know who we were, that was a certain time according to prophecy. Right? There's a certain time, 70 AD, where the Romans came in and onslaughted Jerusalem. We had to flee into the west part of Africa. That was a certain time in history according to prophecy. So now we're in a certain time of history according to prophecy. So it says measure the time. And how do you measure the time? What is the measuring stick, right? You have a measuring stick, right? 1 feet, 2 feet. Well, our measuring stick is the scriptures. All right, because the scriptures outline pretty much what's going to happen in the last times. All right? And we know that through the Spirit of the Lord, we're able to break down that code. Okay, starting down from the apostles and elders all the way down. All right, those breakdowns show you that we're in the time of prophecy. All right, we're in the time of the mark of the beast. All right, which is the RFID microchip, which is going to be implemented in by the blockchain technology. Okay, we're in the time of all these different small nations saying that I am strong. Let the weak nations say that I am strong. They're putting all their finances into the military, and you're seeing that. If you watch global news, if you know what's going on with these big nations, Russia, Iran, okay, China, North Korea, okay, and then you're starting to see that all these other nations are actually starting to hate America also. That's part of biblical prophecy. So really, it's all about biblical prophecy. So we're still in the time of biblical prophecy, and we have a few more prophecies, okay, to come to pass before this place is totally destroyed. Therefore, when thou shalt see therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So the Most High, right? He you know what? Let me go to verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, right? So the end has been manifest, and how the end has been manifest is through the prophecies in the scriptures. All right, you're starting to see that. The Most High said, "Wake up." Okay, he told these weak nations to build up your military. All right, to fight against the whore, which is America. Okay, and to usher in that mark of the beast. All right, the uproars of the people. Okay, earthquakes in diverse places. All right, and this is what you're seeing. You're seeing a lot of chaos in the world, and everybody knows that there's something wrong in the world. They feel it in their spirit. Everybody knows that it's the end of the world, and more importantly, the Lord actually has His prophets out there. are telling you what's going on, right? So, I hope you brothers were edified. We're in a time of war, man. We're in a time where the nuclear missiles are going to be shot off here in America and throughout different parts of the earth. All right, and before that, you're going to have a lot of riots, like the scriptures say, uproars of the people. You're going to have a lot of race riots, class riots, food shortages. Okay, you're going to have a lot of death, a lot of disease. A lot of people are going to get plagued with diseases. Okay, the medical system is going to get shut down. All right, the financial system is going to get shut down to usher in that chip. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen. A lot more signs are going to happen. All right, the men of the Lord, they're going to get a lot of the men are going to get spiritual power. The so-called white man, the devil's going to come in like a flood. All right, and you're starting to see that he's trying to stop the word from coming out. You're going to have the famine of the word. All right, he's going to try to block off the internet. So we're in a very serious time. We're in a time of prophecy. All right, we're in a time of war. We're in a time where all these nations are going to come together, all right, and come against Babylon. So with that, I want to give all praise again to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders, and peace and blessings.